Hello students, welcome back. We are going to discuss a cue card. A cue card which is really very interesting and informative. एक ऐसा क्यू कार्ड डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं. It will enhance your knowledge and it will give you material, it will give you content to speak in your interview. What is that? So it is describe an interesting conversation, एक interesting conversation you had with your friend, जो आपके दोस्त के साथ आपने की. Sub points are who you spoke with, किसके साथ बात की, means who that friend was. You have to name that friend. Where you were means where were you when you were talking, when you had this conversation. जब आपने ये बातचीत की आप कहाँ थे, प्लेस कौन सी थी, what the conversation was about, और ये conversation ये बातचीत किस चीज के बारे में थी. And last, why you think it was interesting, आपको क्यों लगता है कि ये इंटरेस्टिंग थी, ये फैसिनेटिंग थी. So this is the cue card. We will do three things in this video. इस वीडियो में हम तीन चीजें करेंगे. एक, क्यू कार्ड में क्या बोलना है, कैसे बोलना है. Second, we have certain words, vocabulary, and then we will discuss about the follow-ups. So stay tuned with me till the end and we are going to have a great session. So what it could be? I thought and I came across a story which was really very interesting. I had a conversation with my friend and it was about our first Guru, Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Okay, so what we can say, let me give you a brief idea of it. Let me give you a brief idea. There is a very famous Gurudwara named Reetha Sahib. बहुत ही फेमस गुरुद्वारा है जिसका नाम है रीठा साहिब. Actually, Reetha is a tree and it is called shop tree. Shop nut tree, sorry. Shop nut tree. And its fruit are generally bitter. और इसके जो fruit होते हैं वो generally bitter होते हैं, कौड़े होते हैं, कड़वे होते हैं. But there is one shop nut tree in the world which is not bitter, which is sweet actually. So we are going to have conversation about this one. What you can say? Conversations are a part of our life. We all have conversation with our near and dear ones. But we tend to forget most of the conversations because they are casual, they are normal. But there are certain conversations which are very special and we are not able to forget them throughout our life. Here I would like to talk about such an interesting conversation, a fascinating conversation which I had with my friend Mr. Kulbir Singh. Actually, he visited a Gurudwara and after coming back from there, I met him. So he told me, we had a conversation about that place that is called Reetha Sahib. and he told me certain very interesting facts about that Gurudwara. He told me that our first Guru Nanak Dev Ji, as his companion Mardana, were on a visit. They had not eaten anything, so Mardana was feeling hungry. So he told the same thing to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji raised his hand and asked him to eat rithas, which in English are called soap nut fruit. Soap nut fruit. Mardana knew very well that soap nut fruits are very bitter and how he would be able to eat them. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji asked him to eat and told him that these are not bitter. And when he tasted those soap nut fruit, they were not bitter. All these soap nut fruits across the globe are bitter. But this is the only soap nut tree which has sweet fruit. Only one in the whole world. So I found that this conversation was very interesting because I didn't know about it. I didn't know about it. So I found it was really very interesting. And I shared the same with my other near and dear ones, and they also found it really very interesting. So this was a conversation which I had with my friend, and which was really very fascinating. I cannot forget this conversation throughout my life. And if I ever got a chance, I would like to visit that place named Reetha Sahib Gurudwara. So this is what you can talk about. We have covered who you spoke with, my friend Kulbir. Where were you? We were at home. What conversation was about? The conversation was about his visit to a popular Gurudwara named रीठा साहिब गुरुद्वारा. ये रीठा साहिब गुरुद्वारा की यात्रा के बारे में थी और इसकी हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड के बारे में थी. And why you think it was interesting? It was interesting because there is only one soap nut tree in the world which has sweet fruit. All the other soap nut trees have bitter nuts. That's why I found it really very interesting. Okay, so these are certain words. ये कुछ words हैं जो हम यूज कर सकते हैं, like pay obeisance. Pay obeisance. Pay obeisance. Whenever we go to religious places like gurdwaras or temples, we pay obeisance. Pray करते हैं, माथा टेकते हैं. Fascinating is the synonym of interesting. Miracle. You can say it is a miracle. It is a miracle. Because all the soap nut trees, all the fruits of the soap nut trees are bitter, but this is the only tree. पर यही एकमात्र पेड़ है जिसके fruit sweet है. So it is a miracle. And you have learned that soap nut tree, जिसको रीठा जो पेड़ है उसके लिए उसका इंग्लिश नेम है soap nut tree, and bitter, that is not sweet. Got it? Okay, so this is we have done two things, cue card, and let's go for follow up. When do children generally form their own view? बच्चे अपने विचार कब फॉर्म करते हैं, चीजों के बारे में अपने विचार कब फॉर्म करते हैं? So I have already told you that we should answer our questions in 3 steps. if there is yes or no, सबसे पहले yes or no अगर है तो then give the reasons and give the example. Okay, when do? I think that there is no specific age at which the children start forming their views. कोई खास particular age नहीं है. They start forming their views when they start learning. They start learning from the very beginning of their life and they start forming views. With the passage of time, time के साथ साथ they form their view, they remodify their views and they confirm their views. It is a continuous process rather than pinning it to a specific age. इसको एक specific age के साथ जोड़ना, it would not be right. So it is a continuous process. It is a continuous process. For example, when a child gets burnt in his tender age from fire, so he learns one thing, he forms one view that fire is hot and we should avoid it. It is, he has formed one view, which may be modified in the near future when he would learn some other facts. So, this could be the answer of this. Okay, what is the difference between chatting and gossiping? Chatting and gossiping, yes, it is a very interesting question. Chatting और gossiping में क्या फर्क है? There is a huge difference between chatting and gossiping. Chatting means to talk on a specific purpose, specific issue, a useful issue. And gossiping means to talk about one thing or the other, which is not important. For example, if 4 or 5 friends are sitting idle and they are talking about this or that, so it means they are gossiping. But if they are discussing something really very useful, which is related with their study, so then we can say that they are chatting. अगर किसी मुद्दे की बात पे बात कर रहे हैं तो वो chatting है, और just if they are talking about this or that, किसी भी चीज के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं which is not very important, then it is gossiping. I hope it's clear. Do you think that women like to chat more than men? क्या फीमेल मेल से ज्यादा चैट करती हैं, बातचीत करती हैं? It is a general perception. It is a general perception that women talk more than men. But I think that it has nothing to do with the gender. It has something to do with the nature of a person. There are different females. Some are introvert, some are extrovert, some are ambivert. So some like to talk more, some like to talk less. So it is hard to generalize this question. It is difficult to generalize this statement. And same is true about the men. Some men like to talk more, some don't like to talk, and some like to talk in between, like ambivert. So it has something to do with the individual nature rather than sexuality, may gender. Okay. Should parents request their kids to obey them? क्या माँ बाप को अपने बच्चों को रिक्वेस्ट करनी चाहिए कि वो उनका कहना माने? So I think that rather than requesting them, they should set an example. They should set an example. How? For example, husband should obey his wife in front of the children, or even not in front of the children all the time. Even they should listen to the children patiently and obey them if possible. So it means if they are doing so, they are setting an example. When children would see their father obeying their mother and mother obeying their father, they would automatically learn it. They need not ask them. They would learn it naturally because it is the best way to teach the children by setting example. And last question. What do you prefer, chatting with your parents or with your friends? किसके साथ आप बात करना पसंद करते हैं, पेरेंट्स के साथ या फिर फ्रेंड्स के साथ? Both have their respective places in our life, and we cannot avoid either of them. We need to talk to them. But yes, I like to talk to my friends more than my parents because we generally talk about formal things with our parents, but with our friends, we can talk about anything under the sun. So that's why we feel a bit more comfortable, a bit more free when we are talking with friends. So I feel a bit more comfortable while talking with my friends, though I enjoy talking with both. Okay, so I hope you have got some idea how to answer these follow-ups and how to answer this two card, and you might have learned some new words like pay obeisance, soapnut tree, bitter, fascinating, and miracle. So thank you for staying with me till the end, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like the content, and also subscribe to this channel if you are new to it. Bye. See you later in the next video.